Retiring in the San Miguel's Morning Longevity Routine, Episode 23. I used to be like everyone else who wished that they exercised more or stretched or 100 other things that they never get around to do on a regular basis. Now, New Year's resolutions normally don't work unless you know the secret. During the pandemic, I read a book called My Morning Routine, which interviewed 64 successful people about what they did in the morning. They were all different, but they all followed a routine that got them to be more productive. If we don't do it in the very first thing in the morning, life just gets in the way and we never follow up on that New Year's resolution. So I decided to give it a try. I started with 20 minutes that I would stretch in the morning because I was having this horrible back pain when I woke up and it just felt good to stretch. So over the past 6 years, I've expanded that 20 minutes to become a 2-hour longevity routine. And as I would learn new things, I kept on adding more and more to my routine. So now I spend 40 minutes doing stretches and different exercises that focused on strengthening my back. And then I would spend 40 minutes riding my bike. And so now, since I moved to Azores, biking on the natural trails with the beautiful landscape, it's usually the best part of my day. So the last part of my routine is 40 minutes spent doing a breathing meditation. I find that during regular meditation was difficult as my mind would wander all over the place. So I've been following the Winha breathing meditation, where you're just focusing on breathing or not breathing. So they do these segments of where they breathe maybe 30 times, and then they do a cycle of not breathing, trying to hold your breath for as long as you can, and then doing another segment of 30 breaths. When I first started, I could barely last 1 minute, and for like 90 days, I could hardly ever break 1 minute. But then I kept going, and then I went to 2 minutes and 4 minutes and 6 minutes, and now I can hold my breath for a really long time. And since I've been doing this routine, about 2 years ago, my back stopped hurting. It was a whole bunch of different things that I did, and most people they try one thing, and if it doesn't solve your problem in like a week or two, they stop it and they'll try something else, and it doesn't work, and they stop it and it doesn't work. My thing is that I try one thing, and if it doesn't work, I add something else, but I don't stop the first thing, and then I keep doing. So I would do like 10, 15 different things. I kept on stacking it, and then over time, like after 4 or 5 years, my back problems magically disappeared. So it takes a lot of dedication, and you just got to know that eventually you're going to solve the problem. After these many years of doing this routine, I am now more flexible now at age 62 than I was at age 15 when I was doing gymnastics and martial arts. So this shows you that, just because you grow older doesn't mean you lose your flexibility. If you just stretch on a regular basis, you will slow and steadily continue to become more flexible. So, there's no way you could just go from nothing to the full splits to the ground in 1 week. It just won't happen. If you push hard and try to do it fast, you'll only injure yourself. So even though in the movies we see these actors do these incredible things, they go from being a wimp to a muscle man in 10 minutes. And, everybody now believes you can will yourself to do incredible things overnight. But, that's just all make-believe. So when my son was here like a month ago, he says, well, why aren't you doing any balance exercises? Because, seniors, fall downstairs, and that's the most common thing. Is they fall down, they get injured, and they never recover. And I said, you're right. So I started adding these balance exercises, and they were incredibly tough to start. And even after a month or so, I'm still not very good at it, even though when I was young, they were really quite easy to do. But yeah, you start losing that. But, I think that, I keep doing these exercises for 6 months a year, and I'll have my balance back. So the morning longevity routine is one of the 3 core habits that we develop here at the Villa of the Golden Mermaid. You have a habit down when you take like a 3-week vacation, and you don't do that morning routine at all during that time. But when you get back home, you get back into that full 2-hour routine without missing a beat, and not really, trying to willpower it through. It just comes naturally, like brushing your teeth. They say that it takes 21 days to form a habit. This idea originally came from a 1960 book called Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. He was like a surgeon who observed that it took around 21 days for people to get adjusted to the cosmetic surgery he would do on their face, get used to your new nose. Well, and then everybody else just started to copy that phrase, and, now everybody thinks that's the magic number, 21 days. So that wasn't very scientific to come up with that number. And a few years back, the European Journal Social Psychology did a research project on how long it took to actually get a habit down. And they came up with 66 days for a new behavior to become a habit. Even though 66 days was the average, for some people it only took them 5 days to get a habit down, but others took 254 days to get that same habit. So the complexity of the behavior plays a role in habit formation. The simpler the behavior, such as, hey, drink a glass of water every morning, is a lot easier to do than habits that are more complex, such as learning a new language. Finally, an individual's ability to change also affects habit formation. If you have a growth mindset and you believe you can change your behavior you're more likely to succeed at that new habit. Habits are influenced both by internal and external factors, such as your willpower internally, but your environment externally. So here at the Villa of the Golden Mermaid, we have built a morning routine that is part of everybody's day. So if you just go with the flow of your environment, it's easier, if everyone is on the same program. Your environment isn't going against your desires for a healthy habit, and it'll be encouraged if everybody around you has a similar goal. So hopefully these morning ritual idea is something that you think is valuable, and if you think you might want to come visit this place, email or subscribe to our channel, and you'll hear more from us.